Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase. Uh, you guys saw me over in Texas at Big Block Boom. Great event. I am on my way to the trailer in PA, to the woods, to the cabin, and that'll be fun. The video later today, I will be doing Bitcoin law review. I will be doing it from there. But for now, let's have Joe Sass. Welcome back to the show as we're going to talk a little bit about prices.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Anything you want to announce, Joe, before we go right into screen share?
No. Just that it's been a crazy little market right now. I'm ready to go to screen share and let's talk about it.
All right, let's do it. All right, I'm gonna try to keep this. Oh man, I can't move that damn thing again. Zoom's been killing me. The new YouTube's been killing me. The new beta studio version. It's a disaster now. Anyway, real quick, workshop in Dallas went great. The only workshop on the docket is the equity options coming up this weekend. This is why I'm going up there. I need seclusion. I gotta put in, finish building the 16-hour webinar for this. Calendar is being filled out. Check out where I'm traveling to next. No more travel this month. I'm maybe out in LA Labor Day weekend. I'll keep you guys posted. I got to make up my mind on that today or tomorrow. Black Blockchain Summit, Honey Badger, then Prague, and of course, everything. Well, it doesn't even end, right? The summit in Bali, that's the next big one. Check it out. The main goal of this event is to connect up and coming hungry traders with profitable trading strategies that care to share them with funds that can take those strategies to the next level. So that's the goal, to connect money managers like hedge funds with up and coming traders, and connect talented traders with developers and funds. So go ahead and check that out. In Bali, all-inclusive resort. Well, more pictures are coming, and you get a lot of freebies once you sign up, guys. All my webinars, all Hyperwave webinars, you get a lot of stuff on that. All right, let's jump onto the price, and we'll pick up the. I usually have like a million things I can announce with the affiliates at Unconfiscatable. Like this could be like a half an hour show of all the shit that Tone does. The monthly chart has not changed. We are dealing with a bullish trend. We are on a fifth week of uptrend. I am using Heikinashi here, and we have broken the setup trend line. The sequential has been very good. This was a gorgeous 999 that we topped on, and after bottoming or close to pretty much the bottom or the bottom in volatility, and right now we're looking good. So there is a potential for up to 4 more months of upside. We will see, but right now everything is bullish looking monthly. Not really much to add. The weekly chart has been neutral for the third week in a row now. We had a green price flip to the upside. May was making me bullish. We had slightly bullish, not enough to enter any trades. Last week was a bad week, flipped to a red one. Now we're back to a green one. So next week should kind of decide the fate of Bitcoin, where it goes. Right now, I am completely neutral from the weekly time frame. I have no idea where it can go. I don't even have. Usually, I lean one way or another, but I'm not even leaning here because we could be rolling over. We broke this trend line that Socrates likes to follow. We are way below the parabolic SARs, which again Socrates likes to follow. We're sitting right on a moving average that I care about. We're just above the 38% Fibonacci. That keeps us slightly bullish. However, this is I don't know. I'm totally neutral here. I would not have a position trade right now. I would not even have a swing trade right now. Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. And as you know, I trade the 15-minute, and what I look for are swings in momentum. I like to catch that big move, like some of these big red candles, like where we drop $100 or so in a single candle. And you typically see that on the nines. Now, to talk about the weekly and all that stuff, it's in the monthly, it's looking good. I think there are some external variables that are ready to shake the system a little bit. We have the judge moving forward, allowing the New York Attorney General to move forward with the Tether scandal. We have Binance closing its doors, at least temporarily, in the month of September to U.S. customers. So I think we might be in for some stuff that's going to shake the space a little bit, and that would be the things that make me neutral versus bullish, based on fundamentals alone. So I'm looking forward to some of that. But I think again, I see a descending triangle when I look at the daily, and I feel like this parabolic run up, to me, Bitcoin's steep parabolic run up is something that Bitcoiners should not be unfamiliar with. And we all know what happens after a 300% move to the upside parabolic. Now we had the same thing happen in 2017, where we had a parabolic run up, went vertical, had a descending triangle, and we broke down violently. And I think that's kind of what we're set up for.
Yeah, we'll glance at the 15-minute chart a little bit later, or I'll hand off screen share to you. Right now, we're sitting on a daily chart, and we are dealing with yet another. We had a lower high, and then we clearly had a higher low, and now we're sitting right here. So to me, this is a pretty big no trade zone. Below 9,600 is where it gets interesting. And the thing is, and the longer we stay in this area, the more time this 128-day moving average catches up to the setup trend line, which is right at 9,600. And then if we break both of them at the same time, if we break that $9,600 area sometime at the end of August, that's going to be very, very bearish for me. On the flip side, if we can get back and above 12,000, where we topped on a 9, a few weeks ago on the 8th, then I become pretty damn bullish. So this is a serious no trade zone for me, even on a daily time scale. Technically, the green 2 went above a green 1, but we were below the moving average. Not enough for me to take on a trade. Yes, we closed above the moving average. That's the 50 period. But now we're back trading below it. I know there's still half a day to go, but I wouldn't be swing trading this market at all.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I agree that Bitcoin's done the best job wrestling the 50 MA. As you can see, there's been the only other time, like locally speaking, that we really fought through it like this, where it's cutting through the swings, was the descending triangle breakdown from 2017 into 2018. So it's like I feel like we're starting to at least have some sort of bearing of something that we can compare Bitcoin to. Right now, us wrestling with the moving average is pretty significant. Breaking above it typically means we go higher. Breaking below it typically means we go lower. So I think we're looking at some organic market psychology. A lot of traders trading is what I'm trying to say. Not as much organic buying as traders trading, but yeah, I think that as long as we keep doing this back and forth, I'm hoping that this can be have some sort of predictability, and people can, start making some trades that bring in some money if we start creating these predictable channels that we've seen in the past historically with Bitcoin. But yeah, this 50 MA going right underneath it after popping our head above it is something that concerns me a little bit.
So, yeah, no, I'm with you there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so on a 12-hour chart, it's a little bit cleaner, right? So using the daily chart, I'm in a no trade zone, but using the 12-hour chart, I'm back to this kind of area. Now, the last time we popped above this green line, I was expecting us to go up to the blue, but we came up, we got about halfway there. So this is now another chance. And so we'll see. Ideally, I would like the price to flip. I'd like it to go to a red 1, then a green 1, then a green 2 going above a green 1, breaking this 11,000 zone. So using the 12-hour chart, a little bit more, shorter term trades, From there, I wouldn't mind. By the way, I do know some traders that are able to still swing trade this market with daily charts. Though I personally would stay away. There are times to trade certain time frames, and there are times to just sit back and watch because you don't want to get, I don't like losing trades. I'd rather sit and wait and take on the perfect trade. And at least that's my style. No one has to trade my style. Let's move on from the 12-hour show
No,
to 4
I
hour.
want to comment on that, Tone, because that's such a good point. I want people that are listening, traders, to trade every trade like it's your last trade. Don't trade like, oh, I can lose a little bit right now. I can, I have some wiggle room. Oh, like you have to trade like every single trade could be your final trade. You're liquidating all the effort, all the conscious effort that you'd put into any trade as if it was your last one, and that is the only way you're going to come out on top trading Bitcoin.
So yeah, no, very well said. I really like this consolidation of moving averages, and we've broken up above it. So on a 4 hour time frame, this is actually a pretty neat looking channel that we're working on here. I didn't look at the charts at all the last 24 hours, so I had no clue what the hell was going on. It's what happens when you travel. Where are the horizontal? Here it is. So it's a pretty neat looking channel. I forget. I think you swing this thing down.
See, I'm more of a triangle guy. I saw this as an ascending triangle breakout.
Yeah, I see it more of a kind of like a channel like this.
Yeah, it's looking good as a channel though, for sure.
And not really sure what that. Oh, it's this channel inside that channel. So I had, we're still working on that big channel. It would be nice to get up to that area, and then we'll see what happens. But right now, I do like this moving average consolidation, and we're pulling right into it. So on a 12-hour chart, I know we're on a red price flip here with sequential, but if we can hold this moving average cluster and bounce off of it, I think this can certainly have the mustard to get you to that, 11.2, 11.4 range.
Yeah, that's actually something I agree with. I'm trying not to make any high leverage trades. I'm trying to keep my liquidations above, in fact, the local high. I'm even scared of 11.8 right now. So that's why I'm really concerned about even entering a conservative position right now, because I have a strong feeling that we could be popping to the upside. But again, looking at charts like this is kind of like analyzing the stats of a football team. But then the second the players step on the field, it can be a completely different game. And so that's what I'm kind of wondering is that's why I pay such close attention to the small time scales. I feel like that's where you see who's playing. You look at the order book, you look at the depth chart, you look at the trade history, you see who's spoofing, who isn't, and I'm trying to find out what we're actually looking at. Yesterday there was a huge move to the upside in the final hours of the daily close, and that was also right as the New York Attorney General
was that this candle right here, the 5?
That looks like 8. And so into the daily, and then before that we have that breakout candle, the green one after the red one, just 4 candles before it. There was a couple big moves to the upside, and I don't think this is just faking out bears. I think this is some serious demand, and I think that when we see stuff like this, there's usually a follow through. So waking up today at 10,660 was a little bit of a surprise to me. I think this channel is looking good, but again, I saw more of a descending triangle, and yeah, when I'm screen sharing, I'll kind of show you what I was seeing. This channel does look absolutely great though, and if this thing's intact up until the descending line that you have up there, I think that's probably going to be a pretty golden opportunity to make a trade. I mean, obviously, you got to be careful in Bitcoin. There's no such thing as a sure thing, but that would be.
And we have this setup trend. I mean, everything is converging for resistance in that 11.4 area. But going from here to 11.4, I mean, that's almost $1,000. That's a big move.
Yeah, it can happen. But the last time there was a perfect trade where we had the resistance as on the daily chart, we had a 50 MA resistance, we had the setup trend line resistance, and we even had a 9 buy with a green 3 out of a potential 4 candle pullback that rejected off the 50 MA, rejected off the setup trend line. That was going to be a golden trade, and that completely ate my face. So, I mean, the point is that got to be very careful and wait. Just don't try to play conservative positions until you're absolutely ready to jump in.
Yeah. Quick word. I'm gonna hand it off to you in a minute to talk about the 15-minute time frame, the low level time frame. Bitcoin dominance. I really thought we can pull back a little bit. We did have a 9, and the Bitcoin dominance chart has been pretty good with sequential. So has the total market cap chart. Now the total market cap still continues to go down a little bit, downward trending, but Bitcoin dominance is looking very, very nice. We kicked off a new week. We're at a new high right now, and it looks like the exodus out of shitcoins is happening. I saw that the Bitcoin Twitter handle has now flipped from being a Bcasher to being Bitcoin. It's concerning. Well, there's a couple of things to infer from here. One, it looks like Roger Ver was not in control of the Bitcoin Twitter handle like we all thought. So that's new information to me. And the concerning part is the fact that a single person does have control of that handle is troublesome. Eventually it won't matter. No one will care about the Bitcoin Twitter handle, just like nobody cares about the internet Twitter handle. But until we get there, that's still a little bit of a concern. But the Bitcoin Twitter handle follows me, so I'm happy about that. But okay, so the Bitcoin dominance, the shitcoins, Ethereum looking horrendous with the red 2 going down. Litecoin, oh boy, that is a bad looking week for Litecoin. If we close below this red line, that could be a point of no return, and it's over. Bcash is still somehow hanging in there, just below 3% of Bitcoin. This thing is ready to collapse and puke out another lung, and it should go into negative territory. You should be punished by holding that. All right, I'm gonna hand it back over to Joe. Just wanna swing back around to tonebase.com, my calendar. Check out my public calendar. There's a link in the menu for public calendar. Inside that, we got the options workshop, the Bali event, of course, to try and connect traders with hedge funds. If you are looking to spend a little time with, experienced traders trying to take your TA to the next level, that's another feature. That's another aspect of this event. Please read everything over. Make sure you know what you're signing up for. It's an all-inclusive resort in Bali. You get a lot of bonuses when you sign up, like all of my videos and Hyperwave videos and subscriptions to Venzen and Ugly. So check that out. The calendar, the options workshop coming up this weekend, and use the affiliates if you want to support my work, guys. Everything is there. All right, Joe, I'm going to hand off the screen share to you. Let's take a look at your you like to trade the 15-minute time frame, and then we'll close out with some traditional market.
Yeah, I actually had one more thing that I think would make you happy, and it made me very happy. Let's quick look at XRP. You're gonna love this.
If I had the chart, I would have taken a look at it. That price was not XRP. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's that. This thing fell like 20% in one day the other day. This is the weekly chart. Okay, yeah.
This is
that
weekly,
was that day a few days ago. That big candle. Yeah, there it is. That was amazing.
This broke a long-standing setup trend line all the way back as far as December 2018.
Wow.
So, yeah, this was humongous. Destruction of that support. Look at this thing. This thing just goes on forever. We set this up back in the late December 2018. This thing's been riding high for a while. I mean, mostly channel speaking, but
it bounced right off that setup trend line 3 times.
The setup trend line was perfect.
4 times.
This was, and then here was the setup trend line on the resistance end. I just drew this out as a ray because I felt like we were caught in a channel, XRP going sideways with a couple exceptions to the rule, but we broke out and just came right back to these channels, right? This channel destroyed the setup trend line support, it just completely shredded it to pieces and dipped our toes into even lower support areas now that we're not really recovering anymore. So I just wanted to share this because I think XRP is on. It could very well be headed down to some just disgustingly low prices. Yeah, we don't have to sit here though. Is there anything you wanted to comment?
Um, I mean, not really, other than what happens with all of these altcoins, whether it's XRP or whether it's Litecoin, what happens is eventually people wise up, right? And when people wise up, the coin starts to lose money. And when that coin starts to lose money, those that are in direct control of creating that coin have to find new ways. So in the case of Ripple, when this coin goes back to like sub 1 penny, or as it's going to sub 1 penny, the people behind Ripple, they're just gonna sell a shit ton of it, right? Because they want to get rich, they want to cash out. The whole reason why that coin exists is for a handful of people to become billionaires. That's all it is. It's just a money grab. This is why I hope this is why I hope Garlinghouse goes to prison at the end of this, right? Along with several other people, because they are basically, it was a scam from the start, and it was just so obvious to many of us in this crypto space of what the Ripple token was, and and I hope they get labeled as a security, and I hope his connections, now that he's a billionaire, I hope that his connections with the higher ups don't save him. But these kinds of things usually do. So
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the Ripple project anymore. I mean, I would have liked it would have been just fine if they didn't have this scammy token. It's all about the token, guys. It's not about the technology. Whatever Ripple is building may be great. I don't know. I will let the market decide whether Ripple technology is good or bad. But the Ripple token has always been just a scam to print your own money as a centralized individual or a group of individuals. And I don't understand how that's even debatable.
It's not, but people do somehow. But yeah, so we can leave it at that. Ripple's looking bad, and it's good news to me. I'm hoping that scam finally crashes. But this is something really important, and I created a little Telegram group because I wanted to share with people exactly how to trade a 15-minute, and that involves
Wow,
looking
look
at.
at that! Look at that big, no, yeah,
Yeah, I
like
know this one
that
for
big
sure.
nine spike. Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking the 15-minute. I don't know if people are underestimating its potential, but if you're ready to trade, and I'm talking you keep your margins tight, you jump in and you jump out. The second and that's why paying attention to the nines on a 15-minute chart, you're paying attention to a lot of moving parts. I'll just quickly go over what you're looking at are the order book because you want to see what liquidity in the order book is looking like. You want to see if there are spoofers, what we're talking about. And I mean, I could. Do you want me to just pull up an exchange real quick to show what I'm referring to?
Yeah, please.
All right, so this is just for argument's sake. What we're looking at here is the order book, and so we want to have a good look at the depth chart, see where we have support. You want to see where the support is static and dynamic. If it's dynamic, like usually it is closer to the market value, the spot price, you'll see the most movement. But right now, the bulls are very static. These bulls 74, 78, 49. These guys look and everything below it, these guys look like they are willing to pay for Bitcoin at that price. So when you're trading a nine, and I'm talking about being ready to get out of a trade, what you're doing is you're looking at the nine, you're waiting for a little move to the upside, and then you're paying attention to the order book. Where is the static support? And that's where you're going to want to be ready to get out. There is always a chance that static support will get eaten up by FOMO selling or anything like that. So you definitely want to keep your finger on the trigger, not necessarily pull, but this is very important to pay attention to. Right now, we're on the flip side of what could be some further downside action. So in this example, even when we were going sideways, we had a nine sell opportunity that popped up and closed out, a difference of a high of 750, a low of 106.73. So if you're playing with 10 Bitcoin, let's say, that would be nearly a $1,000 in profit in that one trade if you're leveraged with 10 Bitcoin. So, and then back over here, a high of 10,760. I'm not saying you're going to catch every high, but what you are looking for is a pop, because typically when you have 9 sequential candles moving to the upside, 8 is, if people might front run a little bit, but there's usually a little pop on the 9. You always pay attention to that and catch it. Now, this one is a wild card, and you get these from time to time. So on this one, then that's why, again, what you're doing is you're paying attention to 2 things, and I highly recommend having multiple screens, because what I'd be looking at is, all right, we're on an 8, we're on an 8 approaching a 9 sell. Let's jump back to the order book. Things are looking, crazy. Things are looking pretty normal. Whatever they are looking, that's how you make your decision, and that's where you decide to sell. You have to get in and out quickly and accept the fact that you're making a $1,000 profit maybe per trade. You don't have to try to shoot for the moon every single time, and that's one of the problems, is greed. So when you're trading on the 15-minute, you got to get rid of that. But you see, we popped as high as 10,840, and we had a low of 10,630. So this was a few $1,000s if you rode this out and you caught it at the right time. I would say a good move, a good buy would have probably been right here, feeling very safe. And
You mean
right,
sell? You mean sell?
I would have entered a short at around this point. I think when you ride it this high, I mean that's just pure luck. So anyone that caught that, that's definitely pure luck. But again, you always wait for a little pop on the 9s. I mean, you see them every time. There's a pop on this 9. There's a pop on this 9. A pop here. A pop. I mean,
but I will say that, like, if you did trade this, and I don't know you do, that other 9 at the very top probably would have been a losing trade, because that one did go a little bit higher and then it reversed.
Yeah, and that's a very important point, is when do you pull out? You basically pull out the second you feel uncomfortable, and that's why we pay attention to the order book. We're not looking at some hot order book activity right now. Obviously, things have calmed down, but say you see a steep reversal, and I think the depth chart is very indicative of what's going to happen, especially if you see a sloping, like almost like an arrow. If you extrapolate, if you can visualize, we're pointed into bearish territory or bullish, the bullish support areas. This little bit of a crease right here is kind of angled into the support. So that would tell me that it looks like a lot of sellers are ready to sell into support. Right now, there's no liquidity on the sell side except for one sell wall at 135, pretty static. It was just 140, so very small movements. So usually I see my theory is that when limit sellers trying to make that extra 0.1%, less, when they're trying to maximize their profit on a trade by reducing their fees, in Coinbase Pro, it's 0.25% for a market order, it's 0.15% for a limit order. So people are trying to get rid of tiny bits of money if they're going to make a trade. But the point is, I typically see a reduction in the dynamic resistance or support before moves in that against that direction. So what will happen is sellers will say, you know what, I'm done trying to catch a buy on a limit end. I'm just going to market a sell in this case. And that's what we're probably looking at right now. The market is poised for some market selling. Now, the one variable I would say is the reason why we are pointed down, as you can see, there's definitely been a lot of shredding of liquidity in the books. So you have to keep that in mind. There's again, a few moving parts. I created a Telegram channel for anyone to ask any question they want. It's a delicate method, and you have to be ready to get in and out quickly. And that includes at a loss. We had a 9 sell. If you didn't get out here and you got pumped, then you would start getting really scared right now. We even came up a bit higher above that candle, went sideways. I would not personally. I can't say that like, oh, I would have held. This would have scared the heck out of me. I probably would have.
Yeah, I would have been out as well. And
yeah,
if you would have held, then you would have been, jumping for joy later. But you know what? But if that thing would have kept going higher, past 11K, and then exploded past 11K, you're done. You might never trade again.
You would have gotten busted up. So I mean, that the thing about 9s is,
and we are talking like 10x leverage here when you trade this, right?
Yeah, 10x probably. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I go higher sometimes. If I feel very confident, then I'm not going. I have a philosophy that if I make a decision, then I back my decision with my money, and sometimes it hurts a lot, and sometimes it helps. It feels sometimes you're floating in the clouds, so it's a difficult lifestyle. But yeah, if I feel very confident, if we're sloping downward, and we have one small pop, to the upside on a nine and hit a nine sell, then it's like the trend is definitely moving down, and I believe that we're going to probably have more of a four candle pullback than a one candle pullback. So that's the thing about the 15-minute. It is a stressful life. You obviously have a lot to pay attention to, and I encourage anyone to feel free to ask me any questions. I'm like, I know this is kind of new to a lot of people, so I'm absolutely willing to help. But yeah, so you're paying attention to the actual indicator itself, what liquidity looks like in the order book. Is it static? Is dynamic? And you're looking at the trade history. If there's a lot of twitchy sellers or twitchy buyers pulling and spoofing their orders, then you want to also be paying attention to the trade history. Who's dominating the book on the trade history side. So that's kind of an accumulation of things that you're paying attention to.
Oh, okay. So I was I was like watching you on the YouTube instead of in the Zoom, and I'm like, wait a minute, did I lose this audio? But that's on a little bit of a delay. All right, let's we're gonna wrap this up. I need to get the PA, and I also need to write an agenda for the law show, and lots of other work to get done. Looking at traditional markets real quick, I was just going through some of the equities, but gold's pulling back a little bit, but it's still in a nice uptrend. I still think gold can make it towards 1600 and that Fibonacci line. We will see, but it certainly is getting a bit out of control. I don't, not surprised it's pulling back. This is what I'm looking at on the S&P. It's like this weird triangle-ish formation. And to me, if the S&P can get back above 2950, that is massively bullish into Trump's next election run. And same thing here on the weekly, not necessarily too concerning. We can go through some of the stocks real quick. There's nothing really that interesting in stocks. Amazon, not interesting. Google, not that interesting, though Google is leaning a little more bullish than Amazon. Apple is looking interesting. Now, Apple was looking bullish with this green two above a green one above all the moving averages that were kind of rising. And then we popped on Monday, and now we're having another good day. So Apple is looking good here. I'm always skeptical of Apple. I really don't see where they're innovating. People continue to use their products. I'm still not exactly sure why. I was never an Apple fan. I don't, especially the iPhone. I've been on Android my entire life. So, but hey, the stock's doing well. I guess the sales are doing okay. They're not at all-time highs where they were a year ago. So let's see if Apple can challenge that. But right now, the Apple chart is looking pretty bullish. Way better than Netflix. Netflix is not looking good at all. Netflix daily chart looks a little troublesome to me right now, and I would not be looking to go long Netflix. I'd consider a short if the market weakens. Tesla is totally neutral to me, stuck under the moving averages. I would not mess with Tesla right now. Facebook, same thing, just like Tesla, not a very bullish looking chart. Microsoft is looking better. I like the fact that Microsoft's consolidating at the high. It's above the moving averages. So Microsoft is a bit of a leader here. It's been a leader for a while, and this chart is looking more bullish to me. Jump in and interrupt me anytime, Joe. I just want to go through this real quick. AMD, again, below the moving averages, below the depth cross, not something I want to jump into. I would stay away from AMD at the moment. NVIDIA, on the other hand, is looking much better. See this consolidation of moving
Yeah,
averages?
that's beautiful.
Cross over. All it's got to do is break this setup trend line, and NVIDIA can go back up again. Now, NVIDIA has been consolidating. It's definitely off of its all-time highs last year, and but it might have corrected enough. Nvidia could be ready to go back up.
Do you
Ford,
have an?
yep. What's up?
I was just gonna see. Do you have an RSI on that one?
Could. Nope. I could have one. What is that I just pressed? Not sure
I'm
why it's
just.
not working.
Yeah.
I might have to refresh. Nope. Sorry, no RSI. I have the CMF, and that looks clean.
Cool.
Ford, not looking good. I wouldn't mess with it. Tilray is looking like a disaster. And I guess the marijuana industry isn't doing all that great these days. That's a huge acceleration. Now, this was a promising candle, but earnings, you got to be careful. This is why I always wait for green twos to go above green ones. It was a nice reversal of the 9. This is why I wait for the follow through candle of a green 2. That never came. We fell, we price flipped, and now we're continuing to go down. So this stock can definitely go lower. Not exactly a good short. Definitely at risk of a buyout, considering you fall from 300 to 30. But definitely no upside in the near future here. GE, they had their big trouble, and I think GE might be done. We'll see what that report says about them being the next Enron. We'll see what happens there. Starbucks looks great. Nice little pullback into the moving average. I mean, just because a stock is at a new all-time high, it doesn't mean it can't go higher. In fact, it usually does go higher. I mean, Starbucks hit an all-time high off a huge run-up, back in November of 2018 when it hit $68. And anyone would have said, hey, it's too expensive. It's not going to go up anymore. And now it's sitting here at 96 after hitting 100. I like this pullback into the moving average. I still think I'd rather be long this than short. I don't guess where the top is unless you have a nice reversal candle with a 9, but that's not happening here. So I wouldn't mind being back in Starbucks, the moment it showed me a bounce off a moving average.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of Starbucks, whatever this is, right? It continues to decline. The moving averages are falling. This is just a dead cat bounce into the moving average. And I don't short $14 stocks, but I certainly wouldn't be buying this thing. I'd wait for all of this to consolidate and flip, whatever the hell TSG is. I don't know what the hell box is. We'll skip it. Twitter. Twitter is looking bullish to me. Nice top on a 9. Has already pulled back into the moving average, bounced back above it. All the moving averages are rising. We're on a green 1, a green 2 above a green 1 tomorrow. Beautiful CMF right here. I don't have other indicators, but I think Twitter is looking good to me. I like these tops on a 9 here. Told you to kind of get out if you were long. And if this 9 got you out along with after earnings, I wouldn't mind getting long again on Twitter. See if it can go to another high around 50 and give me another 9 sell there. Roku, another very good looking bullish stock. Again, I wouldn't mind being long Roku here. I know it's got up a lot, but things can always go higher. Tomorrow is a potential green 2 above a green 1, breaking the prior all-time high. The CMF isn't great, so you got to be careful. Set a tight stop loss right below the swing low. If the market continues to be bullish the rest of the week, Roku is not a bad place to be, according to the chart. Oh, GoPro's a disaster. I'd stay away from it. Fitbit's even worse. See, this is kind of what I want to see right after a large drop, consolidation, let the moving averages cross over. We now have, the 20 above the 50, above the 200. The 200 is not rising yet, may take a while, but this is starting to get promising here. Whatever this company is, Activation Blizzard.
No, That's a gaming company, and the external narrative here is actually kind of bearish in my opinion. I'm not 100% certain that Activision's going to be stepping up as a gaming giant like they once were. As you can see, they fell off the cliff over there. I'm a gamer, so I know this stuff very well.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, my gaming kind of ended with Super Nintendo. Talks about
Yeah,
how old I am. I do love the fact how this is the all-time high, and look at this beautiful nine, and then we corrected big time.
yeah. Just to quickly say, basically, I would compare Activision Blizzard to your iPhone analysis. Like why they're not innovating. Basically, Activision's the Call of Duty people. They make like a new Call of Duty game every year, every 2 years. Activision and Treyarch. So basically, it's like they're rebooting the Modern Warfare franchise, and that's something that started I think in 2006 or so. So it's like they're trying to do like what maybe Hollywood does with movies, where it's like they'll reboot a movie that was like popular 20 years ago and see if they can catch some new buyers. But I just don't see it happening. I think traditional gaming as we know it is kind of in a weird pickle right now, and I'm not super bullish on any of these gaming companies, Ubisoft, um, you know, Activision, Blizzard, any of these gaming companies.
I'm really like again, I'm not really a gamer. No, I did play video games after Super Nintendo. I played, I think PS2 was the last console I ever owned,
Mm.
and I really think this war game, you, I guess generation. I think that's I think that has to play out, right? I think this we had this war game generation after the whole Iraq thing, but I think people are tired. I think people are going. Trends change, guys. Trends really change. Look, maybe the next set of video games in the war theme will be starting revolutions, right? But it's
Yeah.
not going to be with military style. So I think
Well,
that part's going to end, and I wouldn't be surprised, like with the Hong Kong thing and the other, like the whole Venezuela thing is going to be more like, I'm surprised no one has started a video game series like Call of Duty, but instead it's a little more role playing where you actually have to organize and stage a revolution.
yeah, that's a great idea. And I'm going to add one more thing, Tone. It's the big problem with traditional gaming companies spending 2 years in production and all this time, effort, and money and energy into producing a game. The problem is that a single freaking dude in their garage can make a cell phone game app like Candy Crush or something, and that thing's netting $1 million a day. Whereas these guys have a budget to spend on all this crazy production of a beautiful game with 3D graphics and light reflection and everything built on the most advanced Unreal Engine that exists in the market. And it's like these big rich gaming companies that are used to spending money, getting millions or billions of dollars in the case of Grand Theft Auto back in their pockets for all this effort. They're losing that because and they're getting confused, like why are people willing to pay $100 a day for a cell phone game that where you just connect bananas and apples, you know what I mean? So I think that's a big problem with the gaming industry right now, and that's going to cause a lot of uncertainty in at least temporarily. So I'm really not looking to enter any gaming companies just yet until maybe there's a huge breakthrough in VR. And by that I mean probably 2020, 2021, when they have high definition resolution on the micro screens that are in the headset.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And also, I will say this, just looking at the chart and my knowledge of markets, if this thing does take another big leg down to the $30 area, it becomes a good candidate for, a buyout for their intellectual property.
Mm, interesting.
So, but right now it looks like it's consolidating. I wouldn't jump into this, but looks like it finally, the moving averages have caught up. See, Square is not looking good to me right now. This is not the stock I would be going in long. Really curious if there was a 9 at the high. There wasn't. There was a combo 13 and an aggressive. Unfortunately, no 9. So couldn't have. I would not have timed the top very well. Nice bottom here on a combo 13 at the reversal candle. Um, Square is not looking great to me. I would wait and see what happens at these moving averages. It may just be taking another leg down. ExxonMobil, again, not looking good in a bearish posture. So you guys can see the difference between bullish postures and bearish postures. Here we go. This is promising. I think I already mentioned this stock only because when your IPO falls from $50 to 15, it's or even lower to 12, with a company that actually has a business. That becomes an amazing buying opportunity. Would have loved to time it with a 9. I just had a bunch of 13s there. This was the one I was looking at. I would have loved to pick it up off the 9 combo 13 candle, but there was no strength. So it fell lower. Wasn't a great timing opportunity. I would have probably waited till the green 2 went above a green 1 or a green 3 went above a green 2, which just happened earlier this week. So these are the kinds of, IPO collapses I love buying. I did this with Facebook back in the day when it fell from 40 down to sub 20. And so that's what I look for. I've been looking for it in Lyft and I've been looking for it in Uber, but they haven't fallen enough yet. Whatever this is, it's looking terrible. Lyft. I would love to pick up Lyft lower than this. I want to see Lyft like JMIA. This is the kind of IPO move I want to see before it goes to new all-time highs. Lyft isn't giving it to me. I'm happy to get into Lyft or Uber. Lyft probably sub 40 because it opened at like 80, 89. So somewhere in the $40 range, I would be trying to time a buying opportunity. Though that is a nice reversal candle on a 7. If it was a 9, would have been a nice swing trade. And Uber was a better IPO. So like as far as valuations go, it was more accurate. So Uber didn't fall enough for me. I think the opening was, opening was 42, traded as high as 45. It fell down to 33. I would need Uber to fall more than that. I would need Uber sub $30 and hopefully time a nice buy as it goes to new all-time highs because Uber isn't going anywhere, guys. Pinterest, Pinterest is doing well, and Pinterest just consolidated. So I would not. It looks like it's ready to break out. So if an IPO does not go to new lows, then you got to wait for it to consolidate, and then you buy the all-time high, which could be happening. So Pinterest may give you a nice trade tomorrow with a green 2 going above a green 1 as it starts to trade above its all-time high. So there's a skill to trading IPOs, in its first year of existence. Especially, I've been noticing how the sequential is awesome on these IPOs as it hits the sequential for the first time. So here's the first time it ever hit a 9 on Lyft. And there it is, beautiful selling opportunity. This one came right before earnings, so I would kind of ignore that one. Same thing with Zoom, consolidating at the top. See, now that Google Hangouts has stopped live streaming, people will discover Zoom even more. So I think Zoom has lots of potential, and Google is helping Zoom go to new all-time highs by eliminating your ability to live stream through Hangouts. What a stupid move by YouTube. I don't want to go to, I'm still watching Titan. Yep, Titan had a nice reversal on the 9. Looks like the bounce may be over for now, but this was also a weekly and a day and a monthly 9. So we'll see. And Budweiser, I was curious on because that one topped on a 9. Looks like it found some support by the moving average. I still want to see it break all the moving averages with all of them rising before I anticipate new all-time highs. So, and that's it. So that's just a run through on the stock market. Sorry, guys, I haven't been paying attention to your live chat. Someone asked me to look at the RSI monthly divergence on the S&P 500. Here is the weekly side of it. Here, I haven't even looked at the monthly S&P chart. My chart seems to be stuck a little bit. Probably why I couldn't pull up the other one. Let me see.
Did you ever look at the 6-month S&P chart?
No.
You're gonna love it.
Let me try this monthly again. There we go. Yeah, that actually is a pretty nice divergence on a monthly scale. I don't really want to move this line because it's set to weekly. That's a nice one. It is a monthly price flip. I don't really pay attention too much to the monthly sequential. And beautiful support of the moving average here. I don't mind this pullback. I mean, from a monthly perspective, the S&P is still bullish-ish. The RSI is a little troublesome, but if we break out above 3,000 again, the RSI will no longer be giving you that divergence. A 6-month chart, Joe?
Yeah, so this is good. You're gonna crack up right now. All right, where is it? This is 6 months. All right, there's your 9 and the
Oh
previous.
yeah, well, I'm looking at the Wall Street version probably. This is the one I like. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I knew you were gonna love this, man. This was
So that is gorgeous. Top. Oh, that's January
yeah,
2000. So that
yeah.
was
That's
awesome. That's another one right there at the '02 financial crisis.
yeah.
This one in 2014 consolidated us for a year and a half. And now we're in the countdown phase. And we just hit a 9 on a non-reversal candle. And we're only on a 7. So this could be a beautiful double 9 13 coming up in like 2022 to going into 2024, which could be the big top in the market. This thing can go like exponential. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go to this Fibonacci extension of literally just under 4,000. I like this chart.
Yeah, the other thing to add is there's a couple external narratives that I'll send you the dates, but quantitative easing QE1 began 2008. So you'll notice that the injections of quantitative easing between 1 and 4 ending in October 2014, right about after that red 9 sell, I think around there's like 2014 around there is when quantitative easing 4 ended. The Fed said we're putting QE5 on the table February 2018, which is what I believe is going to, keep us moving up. So I think, yeah, you spend some time. I think you'll really like this chart. It's been really interesting.
Wow, I really wish Tyler Jenks was able to see this. Oh my God. So look, so the 2000 market top on the S&P took place on a quadruple 9. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jesus. So that was a quadruple 9. We didn't make it all the way down to a 9 here. We had reversed. We were deferring I guess what happened to
We have the .com bubble, the financial collapse,
yeah.
the '08 housing bubble.
I need to oh hold on a second. That is oh we broke setup trend. Okay. I didn't see that here. Okay. So when we broke setup trend here, we stopped our last countdown. So there was a little 9 right there. So there was one more countdown from this final 9. We canceled that by breaking setup trend with this monster candle, but this 9 is still giving us the countdown phase. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the one that canceled it. Yep, it canceled both of them, and that's the new one. Yep, I got it. And yeah, but that's amazing, right? We had a quadruple 9 here, where the market topped, and now we're working on a triple. So this is fascinating, man. This is a crazy chart, and I do think we can go higher here in the S&P. Maybe I think that's a good place for a top. So we're talking 8 more 6-month period. That's exactly 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's the end. That's coming to the end of Trump's second term.
That's like the external narrative. Like there's so many things lining up here. This is a very I'm excited about this chart too.
Oh man, look, like these other 9s, they really didn't really show much weakness. You kind of went straight up. Oh boy, that's gonna be the next. That's gonna be the short. I would be like I think the gloom and doomers will finally be right in like 2023.
Yeah,
going
That
into
that
2024.
I don't think I think that a lot of people agree with that time frame being, considering external variables, and then you see it on a 6 month chart, and I know like bigger time scales are typically more accurate. So I just think this thing is really telling us something, and I'll be my sharpening my blades for the next few years. This is going to be, I think, a trade of a lifetime.
Yeah, and wow, so this must have been the greatest 6 month period in history right here.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, even in the 2000s, we didn't have a candle like that.
That was the bear market fake out. And then again, they threw QE5 on the table February 2018. And then we started pumping pretty hard out of December into the new year. And then February 2nd, maybe it was February 2nd, early February, QE5's on the table. And then bam, the market starts pumping. So I think it's important to pay attention to what the Fed's doing, particularly the quantitative easing, and I think we're looking good. I was expecting a pullback until we heard that news, and now we're looking, very good. That engulfing nine is just disgustingly bearish, or I mean bullish.
Bullish,
Excuse me.
yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we're looking good.
Yeah, no, great find on that 6 month S&P. I wouldn't mind taking a look at the Nasdaq on the 6 month chart. I'll leave it up to you guys. Check out the Nasdaq on a 6 month chart. Maybe we'll take a look at it next episode. We do have to get going. Once again, guys, the Financial Summit in Bali, October 19 to 25. More pictures, more announcements. I'm actually in talks with several quant funds and programmers to come out, and we'll be looking for traders to talk to about potential strategies and automating those strategies. That's the highlight of the conference. Of course, there'll be plenty of education there from Ugly and Van Zen and Willie. And of course, the options workshop coming up this weekend. That's what I got to get back to. The Lost Show is coming up later tonight. If you guys want to support this free YouTube channel, please check out the affiliate page. Again, Ugly's newsletter, eToro if you're trading out of the US, LVL Level if you're trading out of the US. These are good for US traders. Something like Deribit is not open to US traders, so please check their policy accordingly. Of course, TradingView, TorGuard, and others. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you want to know where I'm traveling to, check out the calendar. If you want to buy a t-shirt, check out the store. Thank you again, Joe Saz from Block TV for joining me on this episode.
Thank you.